If you focus on the pain, then you will continue to suffer. But if you focus on the lesson, then you'll start to grow. That's why healing isn't about forgetting what happened or erasing its existence. It's actually about remembering, but with a new perspective. That's the difference between looking at your healing and what occurred either half full in terms of the glass half full or half empty. Half empty says, they're gone, they're lost, I lost them, there's a space. What do I do now? Half full says, okay, they're gone, there's a space, now it's an opportunity for me to fill that space and become someone from it. That's the difference between the heartbreak leaving you crippled or the heartbreak leaving you stronger than you were before because you survived it or you're in the process of surviving it. Understand that healing isn't just about who you let go of. More importantly, it's about who you're becoming. And if you only focus on the past, you'll stay chained to it. So my goal today is to help you be able to break free of those chains of the past and launch you forward. But when you cast a vision for your future self, you give your healing a direction, purpose. So today we're going to talk about how to create that vision and where to grow from there. So let's get into it. Remember that you don't have to change the world. Just don't leave it the same. So live fully, love deeply, and laugh hard. I need you to understand, you know why vision matters? It is so important to have some variation of a vision. And don't be intimidated by it. It's not in a matter of having this vision where you have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan or a 1-year plan. Trust me, it's okay if you don't know what you're going to do next week or tomorrow. It's a matter of taking your next step and seeing clearly who you want to become, the end goal, a stronger, more healed, complete version of yourself. And then making sure that each step you take is one step closer to that. So if you don't know who you want to become or where you want to go, that's okay. But it's not okay to not be looking for it and searching for that. So the goal overall is to be able to start painting a picture as to who do you want to become. That could be anything. It can look like anything you want. Get detailed, get specific as to who you want to become, because now you have a vision and direction as to where you're going. You might not know the proper steps, but that's where faith and trust comes in. Trying, experimenting, and eventually figuring out what sticks and what doesn't and removing it from there. So the brain is wired to move towards what it pictures. So without a vision, you default back to your old patterns. So if you're okay with how things ended and the patterns and the cycle, then you'd be okay with it happening again over and over and over and over again. Seeing how you're healing from it, chances are you're not okay with the patterns and the cycles and how things played out and how it occurred. So that's beautiful. Knowing that you don't want to go back gives you the ability to want to learn, go forward and move forward, which is crucial for you to look back, see how things didn't work out, see why they didn't work out, grab the lesson from it and grow. But the moment you look at the pain and we get so fixated on the pain, we end up carrying it into the future, which causes that suffering. So that's the goal. Healing can feel empty if it's just about not going back, right? If all you know is I don't want to go back, you're still looking backwards. So if you keep focusing on that, you end up reliving and recreating the very thing that you don't want to go back to without clear sense of direction or vision. Vision fills the space with purpose. It gives you the ability to shift from how do I stop missing them to who am I becoming in this process? Same exact experience, right? Same exact position and events are going on, but you're looking at it from a different story and perspective you're telling yourself. It's okay if you don't want to go back, right? It's okay if you don't want to be where you're at now. And it's okay also if you don't know where you're going. At the very least, if you know I don't like how life is going, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, move. You don't have to be certain. You don't have to be sure as to where you're going. If you just know I don't want to stay where I'm at, so just move. Take a chance. Do something different. Because if you keep doing the same thing, how do you expect anything to change? It's going to all remain the same. Take a chance. Do something different. And honestly, check out the healing community. That could be your first declaration of you saying, you know what, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to activate the 7-day free trial. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to check out this space. And I trust me, you won't regret it, because there's modules, there's materials, and there's people in there to help you get back to you. You get direct access to me along the way also. It's to remind you that you're not alone, and hearing other people's story might give you the inspiration to take action, to maybe journal, to reach out, share your story, to seek comfort in a space that's safe. that promotes healing. But anyways, I'll give you an example of what casting a vision or creating a vision looks like. I am becoming someone who knows my worth. There's an example. I am becoming someone who protects their peace. I am becoming someone who is rooted in faith and resilience. You see that? You don't have to be that person, but you are going to start becoming that person by speaking life into yourself. So from a cognitive behavioral therapy perspective, right, replacing old thoughts, I might say, without them, I'm nothing. Without them, I'm less than. You replace that old thought with, without them, I have space to grow into everything I was meant to be. Without them, I have the ability and the strength to fill that void with more purpose, with more love, with more understanding, with more faith, with more of God. So, in Scripture, Proverbs 29 verse 18 says, where there is no revelation, people cast off restraints, but blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. So this focuses on a future that's focused, right? This verse underlines and highlights the need for a God-given vision to guide your entire life. Because without it, we drift back to old patterns. And the very trap that initially created the pain and the suffering and the sensation of feeling like you're lost. So healing without purpose and guiding yourself from the perspective of not going back, it doesn't promote or perpetuate your healing. Oh, if anything, it perpetuates your healing. It delays your healing. It slows it down. Without clarity, if you just know, I don't want to go back, where are you looking backwards? You look back from a place of grabbing the lesson to add to your growth, knowing what not to do, beautiful. But if you're just looking back and saying, I don't want this to happen again, and you stop there, it's going to happen again. So the call of heed wisdom's instruction pairs with the beautiful idea in terms of the journal prompt that we have for today. Right? The daily choices that sharp and shape into who you're becoming. Sharpen you, refine you into who you're becoming. So a practical step I want to share with you for today. Write a future self statement that begins with, I am becoming ... Write a future self statement saying, I am becoming ... An example, I am becoming someone who wakes up with peace instead of anxiety. That's so applicable for me in this season. Keep it visible. Hang it up somewhere that you can see, on your mirror, on your phone, in the background of your phone, your journal, whatever it may be, and read it daily as a reminder of where you're heading, where you're going. Journal prompt for today. Where do I want to become, who do I want to become on the other side of this healing journey? And what daily choices will get me there? That literally reiterates what I was saying before in previous videos. Every decision you make today is a vote towards the person you want to become. So this journal prompt where it says, who do I want to become on the other side of this healing journey? Getting specific as to who you want to become. And then now paying attention to the actions to get you closer to that. What daily choices will get me there? Because every decision you make is a vote towards the person you want to become. So that's also to remind you don't have to be perfect, because just like any voting system, any democracy, you only need 51% of the votes to get your desired outcome. So that's a reminder, a friendly, beautiful reminder to you. Be kind to yourself as you're becoming someone you've never been before. Be kind to yourself as you're learning to do something that no one has ever taught you to do. Because as you're living it and making mistakes and getting up and figuring it out, you're learning it. And there's a big difference between holding yourself accountable and beating yourself up. Beating yourself up says, I can't believe I stumbled. I can't believe I did this. And you're making yourself feel guilty and shameful for the actions that you can't change. They occurred. Holding yourself accountable says, okay, I did this. How can I make sure I don't do this again? What did I learn? Where's the lesson in it? How can I grow from it? How can I be stronger and smarter and wiser from these circumstances that I don't want to occur again? That places the power in your hands. It gives you more hope, more clarity, more structure, more strength to take the next step. Even if you may not be confident in it, one thing you know for certain is you don't want to be where you're at. So you're going to take that step, even though you might not be sure if it's going to take you where you want to go. You know one thing for certain is not going to keep you where you're at. And even if you end up making the quote unquote wrong step, that step is teaching you something. One thing, a lesson. Second thing, that you have the courage to take steps, even if you're not sure of it. So You're not just breaking old cycles, you're building a new identity. So there's going to be some stumbling and fumbling along the way. Healing isn't about going back to who you are. It's about actually stepping into who you're becoming. God designed you to be who you are now. There's this quote that says, when God, wrote down your blessings, he calculated your mistakes. That's for you to lead with faith. Understand that, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't like how things are going, but I understand this is part of my journey. There's a lesson in it. I was supposed to learn from it. Again, I really encourage, check out the Healing Community. There's a 7-day free trial. Link is in the description. It's also in the comment section. And I want you to remember this, okay? You're becoming someone stronger, wiser, and more complete. So don't you ever forget that. And you don't have to change the world. Just don't leave it the same. So live fully, love deeply, laugh hard. And our goal is to help people, right? And if we can't help them, at the very least, don't hurt them. And start with yourself. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you all. Until then, peace from Dees.